texting? The reason I don't let you guys text other people while we're out at dinner is because I don't have any friends. I don't have anybody who will text them.
I'm already out at dinner with you. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, see, what am I going to do? Text Will? He's right there. He's right there. I don't need to send him a text.
You could. Would it be like?
I could, but it's...
What would the discussion be like? It would be like, I can't believe Ben is eating this entire sandwich.
That's funny. That's funny.
You gotta text Miss Parrish.
I'll be like, everyone is texting at the restaurant. I don't have anybody to text with, Jill.
It's like,
Just waiting on a couple more comedians.
you could also just say, Ben is eating the entire sandwich. This is not
Ben
unexpected.
ate the big sandwich. I ate the big bowl of ramen.
It was not unexpected.
Charlie ate everything but the vegetables and the egg rolls.
Should we turn off that speaker for you?
Ben ate the rest. Are you looking for the off button? If you pull out the power cable, that would work.
No, she got it.
Do both first.
Thank you so much.
Have a good night.
Thank you. I'm sorry, I had to stand up because my hips froze.
Is there a drink on the floor? Neck warmer on.
I'll come another time.
Yeah, of course. Of course. Yeah, you guys are welcome. Good to see you. Oh, thank you. No, I got buttons, but I appreciate you checking me out.
Well, it's open. Looks like it's open.
Yeah.
Did he say XYZ BBQ?
I think you did.
He just turned 18.
Nice. What's your name?
Will.
Will. Cool.
It's good to meet you again.
Yeah. I'll remember next time. I
Good
promise.
luck.
Thank you.
See you, man. Bye, Will.
All right. Looks like this is going to be our fourth installment of Julien's comedy. I think the best part is we don't have the giant group of obnoxious people up front, so that's awesome.
We're back here.
Yeah, we put you two in the back, but it got even worse than you guys, which is crazy to think, because, yeah. But all right, we're here. We're going to get some jokes going. My name's Corey. I have half a hand. I kept jacking off, and it just got literally out of hand. No pun intended. No, really what it was I was trying to open a pickle jar, and I lost. No, honestly, I really liked the movie Scary Movie 2 with the butler, and I just took a Halloween costume way too far. I made an irreversible mistake on a Halloween costume. But no, the real reason is even crazier. We can get into that maybe later. People always ask me, Corey, why do you start off with hand jokes? And I say it's pretty simple. I could come out here with the most David Copperfield or Dave Chappelle or Jerry Seinfeld stuff. David Copperfield's a magician, but that would be pretty cool too. Either way, I could have an actual magic trick. And at some point during the setup of that joke or magic trick, you would go, whoa, what the fuck is wrong with that guy's hand? And right as you're thinking, what the fuck is wrong with that guy's hand, I am nailing the punchline of that Jerry Seinfeld-esque joke. So, to get all of that out of the way, I come out right away and I address the monkey in the room, which is the fact that I am missing half of my hand. And my fingers are stuck this way. One of my very best friends, when this happened, said, why don't you unfold your fingers? And I said, I can't. So, yeah, that's what we got going on here. And we also have someone else coming into the room. Here they are. Welcome. Welcome. More customers. We love it. More audience members. Welcome. Doing jokes about my strange deformed hands. If you want to take a look, don't laugh. You can if you want. But no, yeah, see, it's weird. Isn't that weird as fuck? Yeah, super weird. We try to focus the content on this and then steer you away.
We like weird.
Yeah, because what I really want to talk about is weed and Jeopardy and old people. I want to talk about the plot holes in Magic School Bus. I've been watching a lot of Magic School Bus lately with my son. You would think that the magic school bus doesn't make sense because it's a bus that goes to outer space and inside people's stomachs, but what really doesn't make sense is that there's 8 kids in a major metropolitan public school class. How does that make any sense? Have a good night. And how can they get approved for a field trip every day? There's no way that a superintendent of a school is allowing a field trip every single day. Come on. Magic school bus, what are you doing to me? Get out of here. Right? And I can't stand. Have a good night, dude.
Thank you.
They're night and day different from blackout to sober, so they actually could have stayed this time. I don't know why they didn't want to. Jeez. I also don't like the kids show Dino Dan. I don't know why we're teaching kids about dinosaurs. They're not here anymore. We don't teach kids the language of Latin. And honestly, that would be a lot more effective than teaching kids about dinosaurs. Because dinosaurs are not the root word of anything, but Latin is. And it makes you highly intelligent if you learn Latin. It does not, no one is being a paleontologist. You have a much better chance of making the NBA than being a paleontologist. There's no more dinosaurs. How many paleontologists do we actually need? You see what I'm saying, John?
Of course.
No, so I also really like to talk about old people. I think old people gotta go. If you look around, no, you're not old. Shelly, you're not old. I'm talking like 78 and up. When you're pushing 80, you are too old. Okay? When you can't figure out what side your gas tank is on in your car, you're too old. When you go to the DMV and they tell you that you need a different piece of paper and it's right over there, and then you throw a shit fit, you are too old. These are the old people that have to go, Shelly, not you. You're 40 years away from being too old. Yeah, you got time. Have you guys met some of these old people? They're very cranky. That's the worst part about old people. It's like they're aggressive. Get the fuck out of here, dude. You're old. I should just push you down. You could be aggressive for the next 5 minutes from the ground, dude. Come on, man. Why has everybody got to be... So I get it. If you're 35 to 45 and your life is going in the fucking shitter and you're aggressively angry, that makes sense. You got 40 more years of a shitty life. But if you're 80 or up and you're cranky and aggressive, just jump off a cliff. I don't need you here. You're fucking super old. You can't figure out your phone or the internet. Just get out of my face, old person. And like, when they get Alzheimer's, that's like my biggest thing about old people is they get to a point where they get this disease called Alzheimer's, but it sounds like old timers. And like, if you can't figure out who your children are or your brother and sister, just go. It's time. Why would you want to live not knowing who anybody is? My grandma got Alzheimer's and she had it for like 6 years. She thought my friend was me one time. She couldn't recognize me at all. That just makes, why would you want to live like that? Come on in, Gab. Great to see you. Yeah. A little quiet in here tonight, but I guess that's kind of what we were asking for. I guess be careful what you wish for. I got my wish. Everybody is shutting the fuck up because there's nobody here now, but that's all right. We're having a good time. So I love Jeopardy. I'm a big fan of Jeopardy. I think Jeopardy's great. A lot of people say I don't like to watch Jeopardy now because Alex Trebek is gone. Alex Trebek was a fantastic game show host, but Ken Jennings, the host of the show now, is an actual genius. So it's way different. Ken Jennings is Jeopardy. Alex was just a cool guy. When contestants on Jeopardy get the answers wrong now, Ken Jennings is like, no, it's onomatopoeia. He knows it. He's not looking at the cards in front of him. He knows every answer on the board. It's insane. And you want to know what else is cool about Jeopardy? Jeopardy last night allowed me to learn the origin of the word nincompoop.
Oh, I saw that.
You did. Wasn't that great?
She is
What?
old.
I know. That's
Wasn't that great? Listen, you don't have to be old to watch Jeopardy. And they do not follow each other in my act because they go hand in hand. Okay? And the old people that I'm talking about should watch more Jeopardy because maybe they could fucking smarten up a bit. You know what I mean? I'm tired of these old people. They gotta go. And yes, exactly. I really enjoy Jeopardy. I think Jeopardy is great. You can't rig Jeopardy. All of the sports are rigged now. Do you know the University of Buffalo's men's basketball team is getting caught for shaving points? The University of Buffalo. I told that to my dad today, and he was like, why would anybody be betting on Buffalo? Like, why are they shaving points? And I'm like, that's the whole scheme. Bet on this fucking lower Division I basketball team that is playing they're playing like Vermont or some shit. It was like 2 super low Division I basketball teams. And of course the mob is like hitting them up like, hey guys, you want to make quick 20 grand? We're going to put a bunch of money on your first half score and you got to shave these points. And the funniest thing about it is they didn't even cover the spread correctly. So now they're all getting interviewed by the FBI. You're like 20 years old, you're just trying to play college basketball, and now you're getting interviewed by the FBI because you want to shave some points, and you didn't even do it successfully. And my whole point is, guys, people in Jeopardy are not shaving points. The mob is not calling up the Jeopardy contestants and saying, I want you to throw this. These are the strangest, smartest, autistic people on the planet, and they're answering questions for you, and at some point in the middle of the first round, you get to interview these people, and they're terribly awkward, and that's half of the fun of the show. It's just seeing an awkward person get interviewed for like 2 minutes. And they've had all day to prepare for this 2-minute interview, and yet they're still nervous and shook, because the only thing that goes into their brains are facts about the root origin word of nincompoop. You see what I'm saying, guys? And then following these wonderful, smart people on Jeopardy, you get to go from Jeopardy, the smartest people in the world, to Wheel of Fortune, literally the dumbest people in the world. Me and my wife, we call Wheel of Fortune Wheel of Stupid. It's like incredible how many puzzles we get from the seat of our couch where these people can't figure it out there. I don't know, are the lights too bright on Ryan Seacrest's Wheel of Fortune stage that you can't figure out what's being written right in front of you? And why are we buying vowels when we know the answer to the puzzle? That's just giving away money. That doesn't make any sense at all. Not a lot of Wheel of Fortune fans in here. It makes a lot of sense. It's not a good show. Yes. I love weed. I'm a huge fan of weed.
How much do you love weed?
So much. I think that weed gets a really bad rap because of many years of being told that it's Schedule I narcotic. But I think that people don't understand the powers of weed. Weed gives you incredible focus and incredible connection to your body. And if you don't believe me, I highly suggest you smoke weed, and then right when you feel yourself starting to get high, you should go brush your teeth. How long do you, just tell me how long you normally brush your teeth for. Like what, 1, maybe 2 minutes, maybe 3? Yeah, 2 minutes? If you're high, you're gonna brush your teeth for like 12 minutes. You're brushing your teeth. It is awesome. It is like, that's how I know when I'm high in the morning, because I'll be like, am I high? Let me go brush my teeth. And then 15 minutes later, I'm like, yep, I'm high, because I just brushed the shit out of my teeth. So the very first night that we did this, I brought a blunt and some toothpaste and a guest toothbrush. I forgot that today, but I was going to allow an audience member to do a high on weed teeth brushing experience. So we'll save that for the next time, Ben. I know you're really interested in it.
I'm already high, but I don't have a toothbrush.
And then, well, I'll bring you one next time, buddy. All right? All right? So I've decided to do this wonderful thing recently where I quit my job without giving them a 2-week notice. That was one of the more liberating things I've ever done in my life. I called out for an entire week to get all of my PTO and then said, yeah, I'm not coming back. And my job sucked so much that the HR rep was like, we totally get it, dude. Like, this shit sucks. And if you don't want to give us a 2-week notice, we get it. So that was really cool on their part. But since then, I've definitely found myself in a bit of a financial hole trying to do this new employment that I'm doing, and I've had to almost max out some credit cards. And I think credit is a very interesting thing. Everybody's got a credit score in here, right? Make a little noise. You got a credit score? Yeah. Make a little noise if you're happy with your credit score. Yeah? Okay, so this is why credit's really weird. I didn't do any credit for a lot of my early adulthood, like into my late 20s, and then my girlfriend at the time, now wife, was like, yo, you really need to start getting your credit up so you can buy things, so I'm going to get you a credit card, and you're going to play the credit game and get your credit up. So I got a Discover credit card, I got an Apple credit card. I used them and paid them off because I'm very anal about that shit. I used them and paid them off, and I got my credit score up above 750. Right? That's good, right? That's pretty fucking good. My wife is in thousands of dollars of debt from previous choices before she came into my life. That's her own bullshit. And she has like a 710 credit score. So my credit score is better than my wife's. But because I don't play credit as much as she has, I can't get the same loans that she gets. So we went to buy a car a few years ago, and I was going to take the loan out because I have such good credit. And the credit bureau or whatever was like, you can't take this loan out, even with a better credit score than your wife. Your wife has $40,000 plus of debt. We're going to have her take this loan out, but you can't take it out. So I thought about that this past week when I was maxing out my credit cards, because what's the worst they can do now? Just lower my credit score? I already have a 750 and I can't take out a loan. So like, what's the point? I'm going to max out both of these credit cards, once for $3,250, once for $2,500, and I don't intend on paying them back until I need to. Because what are they going to do? They're going to come and get me for like $5,500? No fucking way. And they're also not going to be like, oh, well, now you can't take a loan out on a house or a car, because guess what? I couldn't already. So shut the fuck up, credit people. I don't care. I'm maxing out my credit card, Shelly. I'm coming in here, I'm buying the whole bar of shit with a credit card. All right? See, I'm telling you, come hang out with me. I'm maxing out credit cards. Really, the truth is I'm blowing a lot of accounts. I'm trying to be a day trader, so yeah, you got to be careful. But you guys don't know what that is about at all. All right. I'm a thief. I'm a criminal. Many years ago, when I was 20 years old, I decided to use someone else's credit card, ironically. And I thought that they couldn't trace it. And at the time, in 2009, they could not trace who used the credit card, but they could find out that it was used. And at gas stations, they have these things called cameras. And they saw me. So the cops called my cell phone and said, hey, did you find a credit card today? And I said, yes. And they said, did you use it? And I go, I don't think I did, but I definitely knew that I did. And they go, you're going to have to bring that down to the station. So it was one of the weirdest. What's up, dude? Welcome to the show. Hey, man. Have a seat wherever you like. We're getting it started here. So I went down to the station. I got arrested. And for some reason, petty larceny of under $150 will not leave my permanent record forever, apparently. It stopped me from getting the ability to umpire in Tucson. When I was coaching baseball in Tucson, I wanted to umpire, but apparently I'm going to influence the young baseball children to steal more than just a base. But got it. All right. So I was trying to get a job a year and a half ago at Friendly Honda down on 44. We all love Friendly Honda. They really liked me. I got all the way to the second interview. They really liked me. And when I was finishing the second interview, they were like, is there anything about your record that we should know? And I said, yes, I have this petty larceny charge. And I told them about it, and they were like, okay, cool, not a big deal. And then they emailed me the next day, and they were like, actually, we want nothing to do with you now. We don't want to give you this job. You can't have it. And what's weird to me is like, if I were to commit any crime at all at this juncture in my life, don't you think I would be very easy to pick up? I'm the only one with this fucking hand amputation. Do you know anybody else whose hand is amputated like mine? If you do, let me know. I will frame them for a murder. But right now, I'm the only one who's got this shit. So if I commit any crime, they're going to be like, "Did you see the dude with the fucked up left hand? Yeah, he did it." It's not going to be hard to locate me. So, another fun thing about my hand. Almost every time after every show I've ever done comedy, someone will come up to me and they will tell me how to do jokes about my hand. And I will always be very nice to their face, but then when they leave, it makes me want to go, "How about you and me go to the hospital, they rip off your thumb and index from your left hand, they sew it back on mine, I get a fully functioning hand again, and you get this bullshit, and you can write your own fucking hand jokes." But I never say that, because I'm a nice guy, unless you're blackout drunk and talking too much. But anyway, the legend of people telling me how to make hand jokes is so real that I made this joke 2 shows ago, and Julian, the owner of the place, did not hear the joke, and then we were sitting in the back booth after the show, and he was like, "Yo, you should write these jokes about your hand, saying that you're AI and you're artificial intelligence, because AI used to not be able to do the hands well, and that's like why your hand's all fucked up, because you're AI and you're not actually there." And I was like, "Julian, if you want to fucking write jokes about my hand, why don't you cut your own fucking hand off, Julian?" And he did not see the joke earlier in the night, so he had no idea what I was talking about, and once again, I came off too aggressive. So I'm working on that, guys. That's why I smoke a lot of weed. I'm trying to simmer down. I know I am an intense person. I've been a non-alcoholic person pretty much my entire life, and I've been a weed smoker my entire life. I also like to do drugs. I like to do psychedelics and things like ecstasy, so basically speed, uppers, big fan of drugs. One of the very first times I ever went to an EDM music festival, we got there pretty late at night, so we didn't get to see our camping neighbors. We all partied that night, and we got back, and as the sun was rising, our neighbors were fucking doggy style right outside of their tent. Like, for everyone to see, we all saw this dude just banging the shit out of his girl doggy style. It was wild. They were probably most definitely on acid, because they didn't give a fuck that a bunch of people saw them. And this was the coolest part about these people and about this EDM music festival. Was my very first time. Like an hour after they fucked 10 feet from us, they came over and offered us breakfast and like cut up fruit, like bacon. The nicest people. And I really think it was a power move to just bang the shit out of his wife in front of us and then serve us all food and be like, "Listen, I'm the fucking dude around this campsite, okay?" And he really was a sweet guy. So that was one of my first times ever doing drugs for a whole weekend, which I found is really fun, and I highly recommend it if you haven't done it yet. All right. How we feeling? How we looking out there? Yeah. I'll take it. Let's see. I was trying to do. This is fun. I was trying to do comedy in Tucson when I was coaching baseball out there, because I was very bored with my life and I felt like I still had no direction. So I said, let me go do some comedy. Turns out nobody likes anybody in Tucson unless you're from Tucson, and you can't get out of Tucson once you're in Tucson unless you move away from it. So it's just like a room full of people that are angry with you unless they've already known you for years. And since I was a New York transplant, they're like, "Fuck this dude." Anyway, one night I came out with this story that I think is pretty enjoyable. Does anybody remember the hot box, like the cable box, the hot box? John, you're my age or older, so you know what I'm talking about. We used to get these cable boxes, kids, that had all the channels. And one of those channels was channel 62. Does anybody know what I'm talking about? Channel 62? Porn. No, it's just straight up Playboy channel. Whoa. Pornography. Yes, sir.
Hell yeah!
Yep. I had access to the Playboy channel at probably 10 or 11 years old. I did not understand what masturbation was. This is where things get kind of tricky. My parents would go out, and I would go in their room and watch Channel 62, and I would get a boner in bed, and I would hump the sheets, not really knowing what I was doing, and I would ejaculate in my pants, but also in my parents' bed sheets. And every time I nutted, I would go, oh, I guess I need to pee a little bit more. I guess I wasn't done peeing. I wasn't correlating like each time I watch this shit, I get aroused, and then about after 2 minutes of dry humping, I pee again. It wasn't connecting. And then I realized as I got to be a little bit older that I was just blowing loads in my parents' bed before they would come home from the bar. So they're like going to bed, and like by their like hips, there's like a fucking big old fat nut from their son. So the moral of the story is don't be mean to your kids if you're parents, because they might blow nuts in your bed sheets while you're gone. And that went really well in Tucson. And then everybody was mad at me because I was funny. And that was even weirder. I also had a joke in Tucson that I still think is very funny to this day. I saw a commercial for Walgreens, and they were advertising an app, the Walgreens app. And part of the functions of the Walgreens app was to donate. And I just was like, who is that for? Who needs to donate to Walgreens? And then it turns out that I think Walgreens is going out of business. Which, the irony is they actually need you to donate to Walgreens. And I didn't know a corporate pharmaceutical chain could go out of business, but then there's always Rite Aid. You don't see any of those around anymore, right? Remember Ames? They were great. Right? We got some more comics in the building, which is great, because now I can shut the fuck up. But I really appreciate you guys coming to my TED Talk and listening and having a good time. I'm going to bring up my good friend, Mike, and he's got some funny jokes on a note card for you. So come on up here, Mike Bowles.
How's it going tonight, guys? Yeah, alright, yeah, it's a great comedy show. Okay. Now, I know Corey told you that I'm going to be reading jokes off my note cards tonight, but I'm going to start this one off a little bit differently. I'm going to start with a story. Now, I was at the mall the other day, and while I was at the mall, I was getting Mr. Smoothie, as one does. Mr. Smoothie's the best. And while I was in the food court, this woman, this old white woman, comes walking in from the side doors. And she was some old white woman. She was about 50, maybe 60. Couldn't really tell because she was dressed in polka dot pajama pants and a gray sweatshirt. And on top of that, her head looked like it had just been stuck in a microwave. Anyway, she walks into the food court, and she walks up to this Latin couple, and when she gets to them, she just starts screaming the most racist things you've ever heard in your life, and I was so taken aback, I was so disgusted. And well, many of you might wonder what my point is here. And my point is, racism is a very serious and sensitive matter, and it should be left strictly to the professionals, people such as myself. Now, many of you might be wondering, what separates the professional races from the amateur? Well, you'll be happy to know that I've written down a list of things that separate the amateur from the professional. Oh yeah, I can tell you're happy for this one. word of the amateur racist is disgust. The amateur is first and foremost disgusted with themselves. Usually, this is due to poor personal circumstance, which the amateur themselves feel powerless to change. Since the amateur also refuses to concede their own faults, their poor circumstance must be the fault of some outside force beyond the control of the amateur. Thus, racism serves its purpose only as a temporary release for the amateur, who uses the power of racism for evil by shifting blame from themselves onto the shoulders of others. Now the professional, the word of the professional racist, is love. The professional racist is first and foremost in love with learning. It is not enough for the professional to simply understand that Asians are bad drivers. The professional must also know why Asians are bad drivers. It is this quest which brings the professional to a sense of love for his fellow man. He wishes to learn as much as possible from all other cultures in order to be more effective as a racist. Finally, the professional is quick to recognize his own faults. The professional understands that those qualities which stand out in others are also qualities of his own. Thus, racism serves the professional as a tool for good instead of evil. And a little bit more love and understanding is brought into the world.
Now, some of you here may be thinking to yourselves,
I don't know if I can get behind this message of love and understanding. I'm not really a racist. Well, I'd like to take my opportunity to prove you wrong there with a quick test. This is a test that every professional racist is familiar with. It's called the automobile test for racism. Now, please imagine, if you will, the driver of this automobile. Murdered out Chrysler 300 sedan with 5% tint and wire rims. Now, who's ready for a magic trick? I am about to read the minds of all the audience members at once. Everyone in the audience just imagined a black person. Magic. To this I say, abracadabra, you're all racist. That could have just as easily been a Guatemalan behind the wheel. For those more argumentative members of the audience, we're probably thinking to themselves things like, well, I'm not actually a racist, and if I was supposed to imagine a Guatemalan, you wouldn't have said, imagine the driver of a black-on-black Chrysler with wire rims. You would have said, imagine the driver of a clapped-out red G35 coupe with broken exhaust and sticker flames down the side. I'm afraid I have some bad news for you. Now that we've all established our common connection as racists, as well as the important distinction between the amateur and the professional racist, who here is ready to use the power of racism to not only learn to love thy neighbor, but also to love thyself?
woo! Okay. Jokes!
Joke number one. How many Mexicans does it take to mow the average lawn? 1 Brazilian. Joke number two. How many Mexicans does it take to mow the average lawn in Millbrook? 1 Brazilian and 2 Guatemalans.
What have we learned so far, folks? People in Millbrook have big lawns. See, we're already learning.
Joke number 3. How do you offend a European? You tell them they look like a gypsy. Joke number 4. How do you offend a gypsy? You tell them they look like a gypsy. Joke number 5. What do you call Siamese twins under China's one-child policy? A 2-for-1 deal. Joke number 6. How many Canadians does it take to screw in a light bulb? Ah, trick question. They've all been replaced by Indians. Joke number 7. How many Indians does it take to fix my internet connection? No, seriously. I've been on hold with Optimum for the past 2 hours, and I'm really starting to wonder. Joke number 8. How many Venezuelans does it take to screw in a light bulb? Quick, while they're busy with the light bulb, let's swoop in and steal all this shit. Joke number 9. How many foundational black Americans does it take to screw in a light bulb? Just one. Any more than that, and they're going to start complaining about how the white man makes them live in darkness. Joke number 10. How many white people does it take to properly season a meal? Too many. Joke number 11. The Trump administration is now referring to the Gaza Strip under a new codename. They're calling it the crack epidemic. Nothing but rocks and smoke as far as the eye can see. Joke number 12. What's the one place where you can find more Arabs than your local mosque? Your local vape and hookah shop. Joke number 13. Many of you may have noticed that I have made no jokes so far about the Vietnamese.
I did.
That's because torching the Vietnamese went out of style years ago. It's okay if you didn't get that one at first. It's kind of a slow burn, like napalm. Joke number 14. I've already come to my last joke, but this is the one you've all been waiting for. Why are so many Asians bad drivers? Well, I'll tell you why. It's because many of them are habitual daydreamers. Furthermore, the average Asian leaves the home 2 to 3 years later than their Western counterparts and faces much greater scrutiny from figures of authority. This makes them unusually hesitant in their own decision-making. Ah yes, habitual daydreamer and unusually hesitant. These are the qualities we all hope to see in the captain of an 8,000-pound luxury SUV. All right, guys, you've put up with me for long enough. Thank you.
Yeah, so we didn't bring Mike 2 weeks ago, and we all kind of had a meeting afterwards, and we were like, Mike's note cards allow the audience to realize that they're about to get jokes said to them. So he's like very necessary to come up here and hit you with some fucking note cards. So now that everybody knows what's happening, we have some wonderful comics who come from quite far to do some jokes. So let's give them your attention. This wonderful lady is named Gab Johnson. This is her 4th returning time here. She's our veteran. Do it to it, Gab.
move closer towards you all. Sorry, I know this is threatening. If you didn't know there was comedy, this is the equivalent of like just going up to your date and talking for 10 minutes. And I'm sorry. I'm sorry that you had to endure a lecture from Professor Racism. And now you get me. Yeah, okay. I used to dream. You guys remember having hopes and aspirations? Probably not, because half of you are 40 and the other half is a table of emos. But I used to think like I'd be like a scientist, you know, like Albert Einstein, like I was going to discover cancer, or maybe I'd be an adventurer, or something powerful like a judge on America's Got Talent. Simon Cowell's not going to live forever. He's trying, right? He's trying, but like when he finally beefs it, his eyes are going to be stuck open. They're Botoxed open. He's going to be in the casket just... Because they're not going to cremate him, right? He's going to melt into a pile of plastic goop. He's going to smell like a tire fire. That couldn't be me. Now my dreams are moving out of my parents' house and into a 2-bedroom apartment. Still unattainable, yes, but I can dream. Yeah, I when I still thought like treasure, fuck off, Gabe. Fuck your business. All right. When I still thought treasure hunting was like a possibility, I really wanted a metal detector, right? And as far as fantasies go, it's pretty tame. You know, Indiana Jones isn't walking around the Temple of Doom like, he's not switching arms because he got tired. But they sell you on this fantasy. I was watching these channels every night, the History Channel, National Geographic, the Discovery Channel, every channel for like middle-aged, mid-divorced men. And I was like, they're so cool. These guys are so fucking cool. They're wearing their like tactical metal detecting vests that only come in size XL or larger. And I was looking at them and going, this could be me. This could be me. Do you guys see it? I gotta assume the posture, but it's kind of...
Yeah, I see it now.
They have a smug aura around them that I appreciate. I really vibe with it. And I said, this could be me. So I really wanted a metal detector, and I thought I was going to be detecting like my heart out. You know, I was like, I'm going to be finding ancient Roman coins left behind by the ancient Roman Americans. I'm going to be finding cowboy treasure from the 1800s, from the New York Cowboys, which is either a sports team or the strippers I hired last weekend. I can't remember. But I begged for months, and I finally got my metal detector. I was 10 years old, so I was walking around my backyard with it. I was doing laps. I was detecting. It finally went off, and I was digging and digging and digging, and I found a Bud Light can. Wow. That's okay. There's still more yard left. So I did another lap, and the detector went off, and I was digging and digging and digging some more, and I found, you're not going to believe this, a Bud Light can. The ancient Roman Americans sure loved their Bud Light. And I did another lap. You're not gonna believe what I found. Not 1, not 2, not 3, 5 Bud Light cans.
Wow.
And I was so excited. I gathered them up like in my shirt. I was covered in dirt, and I brought them to my mother, and I was like, Mother, could these have been left behind by the people who wandered these lands long before us? Gabrielle, your uncle is an alcoholic. You couldn't have at least chosen Guinness? That'd be a little more exciting to dig up. Like, just because you ruined your life doesn't mean you have to ruin my hopes, my dreams, my aspirations. Because you had a drinking problem so bad you had to dig holes? And I'd say that's when magic died for me, but really it was when I discovered that stripper poles rotate on their own.
What? Me too.
Yeah. You guys remember being young and carefree? This isn't related to the stripper poles. I don't. I feel like I developed self-awareness and self-consciousness at the exact same time, like with a little bit of self-loathing as a package deal. I took myself so very seriously. I cared so much about what everyone thought about me as soon as I could think. Like in preschool, you know, when they like play house, and there's a mom and a dad, or 2 moms and 2 dads if they're progressive. And there's the kids, and then there's a dog. And I was always the dog because the dog doesn't have to speak to anyone. And I took the role very seriously. Because the other kids would be like, "Hi, doggy." This dog is familiar with the concept of death. Woof. It's really bad to be in a room full of 8 people. It feels a little too intimate. Yeah. But I took myself so very seriously. Like, when the other kids were on the recess and playing, I would stand 100 feet away and just... Don't they know that a kid in Africa dies of starvation every 6 seconds? If only we were so lucky. I had asthma, which was really bad for my social life because they wouldn't let me keep the inhaler on me, so I had to go to the nurse's office every time I wanted to smoke a cigarette. I know, I'm a fucking dork. To make things worse, I'm mostly blind in one eye, so I had to wear like these sports goggles whenever I played a sport with balls, which is most of them. And they're the kind of goggles that there's like no acceptance for, you know? What the fuck? There's no acceptance for them. Like if you see a child getting bullied with these goggles, you're like, oh my god, they really shouldn't be wearing those. That's tough. It was so tough that after 3rd grade, my parents pulled me out of school to homeschool me. So that's why I'm like this. And they did it mostly for like religious reasons, but also because I was advanced. Advanced at sitting alone during recess. You may find this sad, but I fancied myself a bit of an intellectual. I had a travel boggle that I brought to school every day. The other kids were trading silly bands. I was finding words. And God. If you don't know what silly bands are, if you weren't like a child in 2010, they're these colorful rubber bands in the shape of animals or letters or really literally anything except for a circle. And the kids would wear them on their wrists. They would wear so many, the wealthiest among them, that they would cut off their circulation. Like the Petting tribe, I can't pronounce anything, the Petting tribe in Myanmar. Which you might not know, but you've probably seen them. They're in like every photo book of like Ripley's Believe It or Not, which might also be for children in 2010. But they're the tribe with the rings around their neck. They like stack their extensions. They get the really long necks. Kids were doing that with their arms. Their arms got so long that they had to bend them. And then there was a black market. They were trading. Like finding a silly band on the ground was like finding a dime bag in 2010. Holy shit. Well, people were excited, but not me. I was really serious. Like, I used rubber bands like an adult. Okay, I took one look at silly bands and I said, silly bands? If I wear those, I'm gonna look silly. I can't look silly, I'm 9 years old. They're gonna take me for a fool. What are my parents going to think? I need serious bands. And I also did tap dancing. And tap dancing as a serious child is tough because you never see a sad tap dancer. I was tap dancing with the fear of God in my heart. Just words have no power to impress upon the mind without the exquisite horror of their reality. Thank you. Are we still using Google? Are we still Googling? Because I feel like it's really gone downhill as a search engine lately. You used to be able to find what you need. Now it's all ads. The results are shit. It's bad. Like I looked up most painless ways to kill myself, and they said help is available. Not what I asked. But okay, I'll call the suicide hotline. And I called them, and by the time we were done speaking, they wanted to kill themselves too. So I looked up most painless ways to kill ourselves on Google. We had up to 5 agents on the line. We all want to kill ourselves now. And all we're getting is help is available. That's why when I want to kill myself, I use ChatGPT. Because ChatGPT takes initiative. They say, here are the pills you can use. Here's how to tie a noose. Here's bridges nearby. If you have a dramatic flare, try a gun. Why wait? Many success stories with ChatGPT. That's what I look for, something proven. Google says help is available. ChatGPT says I can help. Bye, bitch. Okay, take your microphone back.
Yeah. Ah, man. Her writing just, it's, I love it. I love you, Gab. You're the best. That's so wonderful. I like ChatGPT. My former boss, who said he was going to come tonight, but he's a big fat liar, he uses ChatGPT to respond to his boss's emails. And he'll get an email from his bosses, and he'll put the email into ChatGPT and say, how should I respond to this the most professional way? So clearly he is a great boss. All right. Anyway, we got another really cool person here. His name is Gabe Baldizzi, either way, he's coming up. Make some noise for Gabe Baldizzi.
What's up, guys? I'm going to do what Gabrielle did. I'm stealing a page from her book. We're getting nice and close and intimate tonight.
Yes.
I'm a sitting down comedian tonight. Don't you hate when comics do this? They sit down and they talk in this deep sound voice. Remember, you guys familiar with Aziz Ansari?
Yes.
Remember he got me too, and then it's not special. He's like, do you just feel how special the energy in this room is? Just all of us together.
Yeah, no wonder you got me too.
Aziz, he's sorry. Am I right? God damn. This comedy shit's getting too easy, man. You guys have any New Year's resolutions? Anyone? You guys doing that?
Yeah, New Year's resolution.
You just repeated back what I said. That's not a resolution.
My resolution is to repeat less things.
You're failing. No, I'm not big for setting resolutions. I like. This might sound like a vain one. I want to get slightly laid more in 2026.
Slightly.
Just slightly more. I didn't get laid at all in 2025, so it shouldn't
So
be that
just
hard.
one,
Yeah, just one. We're already. But I had a real dry. I still have a real dry spell going, and I know it's gotten out of hand because I'm not saying this to be crass. I'm sorry, because you folks are eating. I had a dream where I was jerking off.
Whoa, dude.
And it's you know,
That's sick. You belong in a hospital.
Yeah. Well, listen. So, like, correct me if I'm wrong. Dreams are your imagination, right? Like anything you can fathom or believe. Why wasn't I getting pussy? I was like jerking off in the dream. I woke up so mad, bro. Like, I never woke up so angry in my life. Like, my self-esteem has now entered into the dream realm. Like, I'm like, I gotta take what I can get, I guess. It's fine. I like you guys are out here drinking like adults. That is, you guys a drug crowd?
I am.
I'm looking at this back table. This is my, alright. Just weed? I liked weed a lot more when it was illegal. I think it was cooler to do drugs back then. It's not the same when you got the okay. Like, these kids are fucking losers if you ask me.
Yeah.
That should be the new DARE program. Just be like, you're fucking, do heroin like an adult. No, I don't know, the kids use drug testing kits now.
They're very helpful.
Fucking shut up. Shut up.
I'm sorry.
No, alright, so like, I don't know. I think the fun of doing drugs is that you don't know what's gonna happen.
For sure.
You know how we used to test our drugs?
We do.
We would do them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The good old days.
Yes, the good old, if you were worried something was in them, you gave them first to the friend you didn't actually like.
Points to me.
Yes. Kind of, yes. No, but that was more fun. It was cool back then. It was, and I get it, drugs are dangerous. I had a dude preaching that to me. He's like, fucking, don't you know 6 out of 10 pills these days trigger a lethal overdose? 6 out of 10. Fucking, alright dude, I'll do 4. Some real math for you guys, I know.
This is the math crowd.
This is a math crowd. No, I think you know what my favorite drug is? Laughter. Laughter. Pussy. No, apparently it's jerking off. Apparently it's no. You guys subscribe to that belief? Laughter is the greatest medicine. No, right? Well, no, I know that laughter is not the greatest medicine. I think I can see you and I think alike. You know how I know that laughter is not the greatest medicine? Nobody's sucking dick for it. They're not. That's why I have to fucking jerk off in my dreams. That's why I have to. No, if you know someone that they're sucking dick for laughter, you let me know, because I'm gonna go perform there instead. The energy in here is. This is a hot room. This feels like AA. With more alcohol. Well, all right. So I'll talk about this a little bit. I do AA. I'm personally in AA myself. I do stand up in AA. You want to talk about a repetitive fucking life? It is. Tell me after I go to one room and speak to alcoholics, I get to come here and speak to more alcoholics. Hey, it's fucking believe. It's the most repetitive life. The longer I've been doing both of them, the more I realize they're just the same thing, more or less. Like both are kind of embarrassing when you start. Both are littered with drug addicts and alcoholics. I didn't end up doing either because I was exactly doing great. You know, like it's a lot of synchronicity. The only difference, I think my parents were at least a little proud when I got into AA, you know, when I started getting sober. I told them I do stand up. This shit's embarrassing. I told my mom I was going to pursue this for real, and she was like, have you, I don't know, have you considered drinking again? Might be a little bit better. You know what my struggle with it has been? It's a spiritual based program. It's really based in spirituality, and I guess I'm finding myself questioning if I don't know if I'm that spiritual of a guy. Like I had a dude just this week fucking preaching to me. He was like, I think, your problem is, kid. I think you need to let go and let God. I think that's your problem. I was like, why don't you go fucking beat your wife again, Larry?
Let those hands go.
What? I did used to do mushrooms. You guys like mushrooms here in Millbrook?
Sure.
Mushrooms are awesome. I regret nothing. I did so many mushrooms. And I'm doing them again. No, I do have a friend that I had to stop doing mushrooms with because every time I trip with this kid, he'd start to spew a bunch of pro-Nazi rhetoric to me. They say shrooms help you find like the love within you. Apparently his was for the Aryan race. Dude, we'd be having a good time like watching a movie. And like, did you know Germany had the #1 economy under Hitler's regime? Uncomfortable on terms of no. I don't get what any of this has to do with the movie Step Brothers. And I started. I'm not Jewish, but Italian, so close enough. And I started arguing with this kid. I'd be like, are you really trying to justify genocide with economics? And this dude was one of those conspiracy nuts. You ever argued with one of these guys? You have?
Yeah, in the mirrors.
In the mirror, okay. I don't know why I'm trying to do crowd work with 8 people. What I was going to say, if you've ever argued with a conspiracy nut, don't. They know more facts than you do. They'll just fact you to death. Like, I was like, dude, you're trying to justify genocide with economics. And he's like, well, it wasn't just Jewish people. It was black people, Jehovah's Witnesses. Technically, it was a democide. Fucking, all right, grammar Nazi. You got me there. There is something very funny about being anti-Semitic but pro-semantics. That cracks me up. You know what it reminds me of when Mormons are like, I don't like black people. Now meet my 12 kids and 7 different baby mothers. That's alright, guys. Calm down. It's okay. I'm allowed to make that joke. I was raised by a black stepfather. Black stepfather. Bit of an oxymoron, I know. Or I remember you. I hope I remembered it. Gay priest?
Oh fuck.
I feel like that's a yes.
Yeah.
That was a yes.
Good job.
Nice. I didn't have a joke for that. I was just excited. I was like, oh yeah. It was.
It's overplayed.
Yeah, no, it's actually a hack at this point. No, you're awesome. I do like you. I do like you guys.
Thanks, Gabe. I like you too.
I guess cause I've talked a little bit about spirituality. I am a spiritual person, to an extent. Nobody believes me, but I am. It's just the religions lose me. Like I don't know. Like it's first off, a lot of them seem to fuck kids, and then you bring this up to one of them, and they're like, "Well, these guys do it too," and it's like, "All right, sounds like you have a good basis to go off of. Just be like, hey, we're Buddhists. We don't fuck kids." I know Buddhists aren't the best example for this joke. I don't know. I feel like that'd be a good way to distinguish yourself. Be the ones that don't fuck kids. And I actually don't have an ending to this joke because I don't know. I'm trying to learn. This is basically an open mic. I'm trying to learn to like talk more about myself. So I'm talking a little bit about the AA stuff. Yeah, it's tough, dude. I don't know. It's like I don't like myself that much. I don't want to go into personal stuff. I don't. I'm gonna let you guys in on a little secret. You don't do this because you have great self-esteem. I actually I had a funny moment yesterday. I was seeing my psychiatrist tele like via video because I'm poor, and I hadn't seen her in like 4 months, and I was like, yeah, no, I think I just need to up my dose with my happy pills a little bit. Lately I've been feeling like a real fat gay bitch.
Same.
Yeah, this guy gets it. I thought it was funny. I was being real, like I was opening up, but like everything else, I masked it in jokes. So I was like, I don't know, I kept repeating it. I kept going, I feel like a real fat gay bitch. And I'm like, I know that's not true. I'm not fat, but then I got a message later that day on the app, and it was from like a peer advocate specialist. And I was like, fuck, this bitch called in backup? You ever baffled a therapist? Ever been too much for a therapist? I think that I'm too much for therapists. Like my last therapist got fucking dementia, and I still think I'm partially to blame. Dude, I think that I told him too much, and his brain was like, fuck this, or alt delete. I don't want to deal with this. But yeah, that's my option. Like, I either start talking more about myself or keep making pedophile jokes. Which, you want pedophiles? They're so much fun. It's so much fun making pedophiles. Yes, we can. Let's get into it. I think complex problems require complex solutions. That being said, why are we not tasking pedophiles with scraping the internet of child pornography?
Why not, Gabe?
It's a fucking big brain idea here. I'm just saying, like, you don't have to pay them well. You're gonna take that job just for the benefits.
That might be the worst idea I've ever heard.
Blow my mind.
Computer simulated child pornography, there's no victims.
AI porn, AI child porn.
Then they just get access and get paid.
You wrote a paper on it?
Yeah,
Like right before AI. Like 10 years ago.
Were you worried at all about like doing the research for it and ending up on a watch list?
I'm old, man. I was like before all that.
Shouldn't that be
Before a watch list?
Like early 2000s. Yeah, but I feel like
They've always been watching. I think they've always been watching. And so I had so I had this bit I used to do. I'll run it back for old time. it's funny because my conspiracy nut friend's the one that told me this. He said that due to all the microplastics in foods, kids' taints have been shrinking over the last 20 years. And that really concerns me. Not so much the microplastic thing, more so that someone's been measuring kids' taints for the last 20 years. Who the fuck's been, who side? No, I was like, I got this one. But I tell the joke and someone was like, I think that's someone else's joke. I've heard that somewhere. And I was like, all right, let me look it up. So I was Googling kids' taint joke. Joke about kids' taints. And I found nothing, but I'm pretty sure I'm on a watch list now. Yeah. But I will say that child porn, touchy subject, no pun intended. No one wants to talk about it, but like, it is scary how prevalent this shit actually is. Like, I'm telling you, it feels like every day I see it more and more in my search history. I like just diving in. What? You're telling me SNL's not going to scout me from this Millbrook set? This isn't going to be the one that we break up. I'm not going to get on the Johnny Carson show after this one.
They want you again.
But it does have real life repercussions. I'm wearing, if you guys couldn't tell from the Duncan shoes, I love Duncan. I'm a big Duncan fan. I got fired from Duncan, which, that fucking hurt. The manager literally pulled me aside and was like, yeah, we're sorry, you're just not quite Duncan material. Which is quite possibly the meanest thing someone's ever fucking said to me. And it's like, you know this job for stoned teenagers? You can't do it. But I found out she heard a pedophile joke that I was doing. And here's the joke. I don't know about you guys, but I love munchkins. You know those munchkins, the little donut things? I can eat those fucking things for days. That being said, every so often even I would get Dunkin' Donuts, and I'd think to myself, you know, I'm kind of in the mood for an old-fashioned donut this morning. And it got me wondering, do you think pedophiles ever feel that way about kids? You know, like, do you think they ever wake up one morning, go to the park, and then once they're there, suddenly just have like an overwhelming moment of like, I should just fuck this mom. You know, like I should have a nice old-fashioned donut this morning. And then if I'm in the mood tomorrow, I could just have her munchkins.
Thank you, keep going.
She's like, check please. I'm ready to leave after the bed about it. No, that's but we've got to land this plane. You know what? I'm going to ask for your permission. Can I do an amputee joke?
Please.
Alright.
Please.
Before losing the Dunkin' job, I lost another job. I used to work at Quick Check, and we had a regular there come in, and he constantly complained about the price of the cigarettes. He constantly complained to me, the fucking price of these cigarettes. And I was like, what? Guess you could say they cost an arm and a leg? Which wouldn't have been so bad if the guy wasn't a double amputee. And when I say double amputee, I know you're wondering the same thing I'm wondering. Like, fucking 2 legs, no arms, 2 arms, no legs. No, this guy was 1 left arm, 1 right leg.
Oh.
You don't think a game of Hangman, you're 2 wrong guesses from losing? Which, speaking of which, Hangman is a fucked up game. Do you ever think about the fact that we were in school playing that? Like, that was more or less the teacher was going, all right, I'm going to put a 7-letter word up here. Any of you guys want to take a crack at it? Try to guess a letter? Billy? Did you say Q? Look at what you just did. Look at what you just did. He's dead now. It's your fault. All right, that's it from me, guys. Thanks.
Thank you, Gabe. I am a spiritual person who has also recently got into the Nazi regime not being as bad as they said it was. Yeah, I mean, if you guys have like 30 minutes, I can break it down for you. Like Hitler was getting a super bad rap, and that's why they put him in media the way they do now. Big QAnon guy. I have a hoodie. So yeah, but we'll move on. We have two really wonderful comics who came from very, very far away to do some time for you guys. And the first one is new to me, so it's new to you. His name is Nick Cara. Get up here, Nick.
All right, thank you. Oh wow, that's fun. Hello. I'm gonna try and stay at least perpendicular with you, because I feel like you've just been watching the back of people's heads, and I want to be here to entertain everybody involved. Hello. How's your month been?
Pretty good.
Pretty good. Mine's been strange. I've learned a lot. I've learned that Minnesota had both Somalians and lesbians. And lately, significantly less of both. I don't think that's a good thing. I don't think you should just go around popping lesbos, but it's not how you do things. I mean, we're very upset that ICE is in New York now. I didn't know how big of a deal it was until I was getting beat up in Times Square and I saw superheroes running away. And here we are. Oh boy. I don't know much about politics. I know more about sports, so I try to mix my sports with my politics. I like to go to abortion rallies to chant defense. It's a lot of fun. We get the boys out. We tailgate the Planned Parenthood. Like cornhole with the fetuses. You ever do that? Yeah. They're in the back. You can just go get them. You know, they don't do nothing with them. You know, they should. They cure cancer. I heard dead babies cure cancer. Stem cells. Right? Isn't that what they are?
Yeah.
Right? If you just grind them, and you just here, eat this, and you're cured. That's my understanding of stem cells. I think I'm pretty close. The sports and politics, they do go together. Do you guys remember the Olympics, the last one, where we had the controversy with the two boxers? Remember when we watched these two ladies fight, and we all went, that one might not be so good. Like, as a planet, we called that lady ugly. It wasn't nice. I wasn't, like, so offended about that, really. I was more upset about the opponent, the Italian lady that quit. Yeah. Because maybe I'm old school, but I've seen Italian women take harder punches than that. And stick around for 25 years. I don't... Oh, my mom's a good lady. She's very, very loyal. Oh, I'm sick of Italians. You guys sick of Italians? I live in Staten Island. There's too much with the pizza and the anger. I can't do it anymore. I don't know. The Italians, they found out about TikTok. They've just been screaming in their cars and becoming comedians. I'm very jealous about it. Thank you. They just tell you how good pizza wherever they live is. That's.
Or the Yankees.
I don't give a fuck about the Yankees. Please, I hope ICE goes to the Bronx. I don't give a shit. Tired of these damn Italians. I grew up with them. I'm Italian. I had this grandmother. Her name was Cook. And she enforced that name on us. Her name was Ann, but she was like, call me Cookie. And I'm like, why? And she goes, because I'm sweet. I'm like, the most violent lady I've ever met. I once said, hey, Cook, I want to join the Boy Scouts. And she goes, you would want to tie knots with boys, you little thing. Oh, I don't know what am I doing here? It sucks. Upsetting. She didn't like anything. She liked chicken cutlets and Gone with the Wind. That was it. Only thing. And she smoked Pall Mall cigarettes because she was a piece of shit. Can't stand that lady. Are you kidding me? I know she was the most violent woman in the world. I once came home. The most violent woman. I once came home and I saw a hole in the wall that looked just like my mother, and I went, Cook's here. Like her husband, my grandfather, had never anything nice to say about her. We once said, hey, can you say something about Cook? And he went, yeah, you had to fight her like a man. Put her down and get out. She'll still be angry when she wakes up, but give it like a month. He wasn't like a great guy either. He was very racist, man. My grandfather. Yeah. He was so racist that when he died, he cremated him. That way, at the end, he was black.
Yes. Yes.
I'm tired of the Italians. Sick of them. He loves Columbus Day. You guys like Columbus Day here? Are you a fan of Columbus Day?
I'm a fan of Columbus Day.
You're a fan. Okay. Well, sorry. I want to be able to see your hands. Hold on. I don't give a fuck about Columbus. I don't not do the joke. I just am aware of where people are. I don't give a shit about. You know, do you ever wonder like what like I don't know if you guys know this. He got fired by Italy. If you knew that part of I used to tell my grandfather this. He'd be like, "Oh my God, Columbus!" I'd be like, "You know, they fired him, right?" You know? You ever wonder what that was like? Being the king of Italy, like called Columbus into his throne room, and he's like, "Christopher, you want to see a new world? Why can't you can't go to a new world? You rape." Everywhere you go, you rape. I send you over here, you rape. You go over there, you rape. You bad guy. You cannot do this. You want to do that, you take that shit to Spain. And he goes, I take that shit to Spain. And here we are. The story of America. Thank you. Thank you. What was next? Do you remember what was next? I don't know. I get fired a lot. I got fired from a remote job. That ever happened to you guys?
No. Yes.
When you get fired from a remote job, they don't say don't come in tomorrow. They just like don't wake up. I have to get a new thing now. I ended up getting a new job on a boat. That's what I ended up doing. My title is deck hand. This is what I do. I take a rope and I put it on the boat. And the boat stays put. And sometimes I take the rope off the boat. Boat fucks off. It's the whole job. I even asked, I was like, is there anything else I should be doing? And they were like, yeah, you know the thing you want to do with that rope? Don't.
That's nice.
Which is fucked up because it comes with the loop in it already, right? You don't just put it on and you wait till low tide.
That is fun.
Because you can't hang yourself at high tide. You know, you just end up bobbing there for like 5 hours. Too much. It was a good job. My new boss is wind. And not a lot of cement here, huh? It's alright. I have this coworker. His name is Andrew, and he's British. So I like to call him Prince Andrew. And he likes to go, please stop calling me that. I'm like, why? And he goes, because that's a pedophile. Like, I didn't know you guys said it like that. I'm never going to stop now. Are you kidding me? Did you know they said it like that? You go, pedophile. Like, it's not that scary. And I hear pedophile. I go, oh no. I hear pedophile. I'm like, guys, don't step on him. Watch out. If you find my pedophile, give him back. You know? I mess with them all the time for being British, too. Because the code to get into our boat is 1776. Funny, huh? So I'll quiz him. I'll go, Andrew, remember the code? I'll go, it's 1776, my lord, right? And I'll go, yeah, don't ever forget it. Just eagle squawk at him, you know? It's a good time. Sometimes I'll go into the kitchen, I'll make myself a cup of tea, and I'll just pour it into the ocean in front of him.
Yeah.
Boston Tea Party. Boston Tea Party. What's with this kid? He's new. He brings 4 of his fucking friends. They're not going to show up to anything else. Take them to Broadway Comedy Club. Maybe you'll get a month of stuff. Talking. Anyway. I did that Boston Tea Party joke in New Jersey once. No. Some lady... we're not all from Boston. Not everybody would get that joke. I mean, everybody should get the Boston Tea Party joke. It's like top 2 American terrorist attacks. You know? It's like 9/11, Boston Tea Party. Both done by Indians, kind of. You know? Depending on the room that you're in, you know. That I change it depending on whatever room I'm in. Because if I don't, you know, both done by Jews. Again, the conspiracy theories say, oh, both done by us. You know, there's 3 punchlines to that joke.
I love it.
Wow. Yeah, we'll see. I've been staring at this frozen turtle.
Yeah.
I know.
I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. Is he shitting?
No, that's something sucking him off.
Okay. No, that's a thing that happens in the ocean. No, I wasn't annoyed at that. Yeah, you ever see the sharks with the little fish?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know sharks are built for rape? You know that? Males have these little things at the end called claspers, and that's for mating. If you have a clasper for mating, it's rape. Right? It's, I don't know. Just a thought I had. How you guys feel about AI? You guys like AI?
AI with the braids.
Except for
Huh?
Oh,
What? With the braids?
AI with the braids? No.
Oh, Allen Iverson. Okay, yeah.
Talk about practice.
That's cool. Oh man, why are 17-year-olds shouting Allen Iverson references at me?
He's actually
Where-
over 21.
Did you guys just get Allen Iverson? I think of this as like a foreign country where like you're getting 80s music now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No.
Is that offensive?
No, you're good.
All right. Thank God. I've been hearing that AI, ruined the water for like an entire town.
Yep.
Cause they just have to keep pouring water to cool it down, so you guys can make like your cat in a funny hat or something. Yeah. Which I found out there's this town in New Jersey that has like their own little AI cool down facility, and they fucked their water completely. Right? Isn't that crazy? I don't know another use for New Jersey water. You're not going to drink it, so it's... I should make fun of New Jersey. I grew up in Florida. And now I live in Staten Island. Lateral move. Florida's just hot Staten Island. It's the same shit. I grew up out there next to this meth dealer, right? His name was Who Tooth Jim. And we called him because he always had teeth, but we never knew whose. I remember one day Who Tooth Jim was moving all the shit outside. Right now I was outside. I go, hey Jim, what are you doing? And he goes, it's too hot inside. Gotta move the living room outside. Because meth puts you to work. You ever see a meth head get shot?
No.
They get right back up. They have shit to do. Like a toothless Nosferatu, you know, just... But you have $1. It's a lot of fun. He taught us a lot of cool stuff too. He taught us how to go bat hunting. You guys ever do that? You've done it? You nodded. I was like, oh, it's a brother. This is what you do. You get a tennis ball and a tube sock. I did this when I was like 13, so I already had a tube sock. I just had to like wash it. You know, it's an old cum joke. As everyone in here is old cum, you should get the jokes. Yeah, this is old cum. You, your mom's old cum.
No, we're here.
Yeah, here. That's the same as the America thing. Anyway, this is it. You put the tennis ball in the tube sock, right? You fling it up into the air. You do this at night. That's where bats are. And it messes with their sonar or whatever. You know, you're a doctor. And the claws, they get stuck in the sock, right? And then the bat falls down to earth. And now you have a fucking bat. But you're not done yet. You get your other neighbor. His name is Boogie. Boogie don't wear shirts. And you duct tape that bitch to his chest, and he runs around the block going, I'm Batman! And then he becomes your stepfather. I don't know how he did that, but he did. I don't know. People knew who my dad was. Someone once came up to me and they were like, yo, I met your dad once. And I was like, thanks, Mom. Yeah, I went back to Florida recently. I went back to go see my cousins. I used to fuck them, but I'm a New Yorker now. And we went to Universal. We went on the Fast and Furious ride. You guys ever been on that?
No.
What a piece of shit.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be a good time, right? I thought there was going to be cool cars and Spanish music. We were going to have a lot of fun. And then Vin Diesel's stupid fucking face pops up, right? I'm not a fan. He's like, don't worry. You're not my friend. You're my family, right? I don't know how. That's my best impression of Vin Diesel. This retarded deaf guy. I don't know the difference. You guys like Vin Diesel?
His brother has a house like 10 miles from here.
Really? Let's go fuck him up.
His brother's also like 5'7".
Oh, I forgot. He's like
super
little.
short. Yeah.
The Sinclairs.
Yeah.
Right? Which Sinclair is he? Is he Mark Sinclair or is that Vin Diesel?
Mark, yep.
Or is Mark the
Mark
brother?
is the brother, yep.
Ah, I don't know how I knew that one.
Vin Diesel stole my name. Dominic. I fucking hate that guy.
Well, no, someone paid him to do that. He didn't steal it. Hollywood did. They took your story. Drinking Corona and racing. Oh boy, I don't like Vin Diesel. I don't have a favorite Vin Diesel movie. No, I have a favorite Vin Diesel scene. It's Saving Private Ryan when he dies alone in the rain. That's the only Vin Diesel scene I like. He's like, "Help me!" and Tom Hanks starts like, "You don't have a friend in me," and I leave him there, just in Nazi mud. I've been watching a lot. I finally caught up to Star Wars. You guys into Star Wars? No. I saw the first of the prequels. Racist, very racist movie. It opens and the first guy they meet are like greedy Japanese businessmen. They do the whole paragraph and then they go, "Oh no, Jedi!" It starts with that. It's for children. I don't know what. Oh no, it's a. Oh. Please do not use it the fool. Oh. It's terrible. It's terrible. They crash land on another planet, and the first guy they meet is an Israeli slave trader. Right? They try to like make a deal with him. He's like, "Jedi tricks don't work on me, only money." They made him a mosquito. It's very anti-Semitic. And the entire time they're being followed by a retarded space Jamaican, and he just keeps breaking shit. If you're gonna have a space Jamaican, does he have to be retarded? I don't understand it. Not one bit. It was so bad that in the second one, they just gave all the aliens subtitles. They're like, "You know what? Read them. That's it." You guys don't like what we do? Try and include everybody, cartoonish. I do like the Star Wars movies. I do. I like that every trilogy has one black guy in the whole galaxy. Have you noticed that? The first one, like the originals, has Lando, right? He's pretty cool. And then the second one, they have Mace Windu, Samuel L. Jackson, pretty fucking cool. And then they have some nerd in the new ones. And those are the only ones. That's it. Can we buy real estate in Star Wars? Sorry. Oh boy, do I have any? I think I'm about done. Yeah, you guys want to see any more of my content? You can find me on the Citizen app. Thank you.
Yeah. I love it. Fantastic. My best friend who grew up around here in this very Chucky area, he lives down in New York City now. So when he's living in New York City and sober, he says, "I'm all about Indigenous People Day," but once he starts drinking, he's like, "Columbus Day!" And I think that is hilarious because the true person comes out. Anyway, we have a wonderful person who's going to kick it like she did last time. Her name is Ada Detsky? Dietsky? Either way, it's Ada. She's coming up here and she's going to kill it. Make some noise.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, that's great. Detsky's not the name he got wrong, so that's fine. I'm Ada, guys. What's up? All good. I don't expect him to know my indigenous name up here in upstate New York. My very indigenous German name. I don't expect people to know it. What's up, guys? Hey, alright, the show is wound down. The show is considerably wound down. I'm glad that I came up here instead of catching up on season 3 of Jujutsu Kaisen. I'm glad that I did that. I'm glad that that's the plan that I made. It's fun snow day. I like watching trash TV. That's been my thing. And there's this show, it's called The Dead Files. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of it. It's a fun show. It's like a ghost hunter show, alright? And there's these people paired up, and it's this one woman, Amy Adams, who's like a psychic, and she sees spirits and all that stuff. And she paired up with a ex-New York homicide detective named Steve DeShavi. And it's a lot of fun. So they go to these houses and they find ghosts and paranormal spirits and all the sort. And it's fun because Amy will walk in and there will be this woman who'll go, "Yeah, things just started flying off the shelves and it's really weird. Like I sense a presence and when I stand at this part of the hallway, I feel air on the back of my neck and I feel like there's something there." And Amy's like, Yeah, they show up like that sometimes. They show up like a breeze. And then Steve DeShavi goes, "There's a vent right on top of you. That could be it, just so you know." And then they stopped doing the show together because he was anti-vax. Then the whole show kind of fell apart when he didn't want to do that. So yeah, that's what I've been watching. That's been the fun thing that I've been doing with my time. I don't have too many friends because I decided to go on vacation with them. And that's what happens. I have 2 female friends, and we decided to go on vacation together, and you know how that goes. None of us speak to each other anymore. The whole friend group is broken up, and we're all blocked on various social medias, because that's how it goes. There's always, that's a girl trip, you ever been on a guy's trip?
Yes.
Yeah, it's fun, right? It was good. Where'd you guys go? Las Vegas, it's fun, dude. Like, you gamble together, all this stuff. I went with them. We went to Punta Cana, and it fucking sucked. And it was, there's just one girl like going like, "Woo, fuck yeah, bitches, we're gonna party down, let's go." And then there's another girl 3 feet away going, "She's a fucking whore. What's her problem?" I'm like, why did you bring us to Punta Cana? Why did you? It started out bad. We all got on the plane, and the 2 of them got upgraded to first class, and I sat with a family in New Jersey in coach. And they clapped when the plane landed, and the whole time their kids were climbing over the seats, and these bitches were like, they got complimentary champagne, and that's like how the hate started. And then the hate just continued as like we're in the hotel room, and I was sharing a bed with my female friend. It was the least sexy thing in the world, because she's really short. So then she kept on complaining about how my body created a crevice in the bed that she kept falling into. And I was like, "Are you calling me fat, you psychotic bitch? You don't even like this girl, and we're here." And the other girl standing there like this, like she doesn't know what to do. Yeah, it was fun. And the hotel, I remember the first time we got there, we went like, if the trip starts out bad, you go, you know what, it's an all-inclusive, let's get something to eat. Let's just get some dinner. It's going to be fine. And we ordered appetizers, and we ordered chicken wings. There were 3 people at the table, and they brought out 2 chicken wings. So this was the vacation from hell. We were all hungry, upset with each other, and we just kept calling each other fat the whole time. That was like a lot of fun, Man, I've been going to the gym now because of the crevice comment, and I like working out and all that stuff. I enjoy it a lot. I don't want to go on Ozempic. I feel like going on Ozempic is just giving up. The emo kids are like, I don't get it. They're like, I don't eat. But yeah, no, not a fan of Ozempic. So I've been like going to the gym and stuff, and like I was at home. I'm in my parents' kitchen, and I was mixing up like protein, creatine, to get jacked. Again, the emo kids have no idea what I'm talking about. But guys, it's a powder that gets you jacked, alright? And my mom walked in, and she like burst into tears because she thought I was transitioning. And I had to explain, I was like, "Mom, I'm a 5'10" woman. If I transition, I'm just a 5'7" dude. Like, it doesn't make any fundamental sense." But the good thing about going to once I gained a little bit of weight, what I started doing was I got really into alt rock. Because that's what you have to do so that you can wear the t-shirts. Because if you're wearing a porn t-shirt over a bigger body, people don't immediately go, "Oh, you're fat." They go, "Oh, you work out a lot." Which is good. You can hide fatness under something that's that should be a buff person underneath that shirt. Once you're fat, you can't get into Taylor Swift. They're like, "Of course you fucking fat bitch. She's just wearing it's all pink and tie-dye. It doesn't work. No. But yeah, and then I started running. I got into that, and there are these things called lantern flies. There are a lot of them in my path, on my running path. You guys know what lantern flies are? You know what you're supposed to do with them?
Kill them.
Yeah, you're supposed to fucking kill them. People could love that. Are you guys emo or scene? What's the actual? What do you identify as? I don't know.
We're all unique.
Unique. Oh man, dude, Gen Alpha emos are so different. They're so different.
Personally, I'm a zoomer.
Oh yeah,
That
same.
word.
Dude, the new generation, what do you guys listen to? You still listen to My Chemical Romance?
Yeah,
Yeah,
he does. Just keep
yeah, like he does that fucking poser. Fucking boomer listens to My Chemical Romance. Old as shit, dude. Gerard Way is like fully gay now. Who gives a shit? It was fun when you were trying to guess. Like when I was like in high school, we were listening to My Chemical Romance. Like every song, we're like, "Is this about gay sex?" And it is. Like 9 times out of 10, it's about gay sex. But yeah, so they have these lantern flies all over the place, and you're supposed to stomp them out. Like it says it on the government website. It's like you're literally supposed to kill them if they have eggs, children. You're supposed to stomp those out too. Just take out the whole bloodline. And I've never killed a lantern fly in my life. No. Because you don't do that. You know? Especially if the government is telling you to kill them.
Obviously, gotta take care of them all naturally.
Exactly. Look, I know how this kind of stuff goes. You know, the first thing, like, you're killing lantern flies, you're taking them out, you're a hero, you're saving the environment. Next thing you know, you're getting dragged in on war crimes, you're fleeing to Argentina. All the art you took from the lantern flies, you're taking that shit back. Yeah. Then the lantern flies get their own, like, piece of land. They start fucking up fruit flies. I know what happens. I'm keyed in, you know? So I don't kill lantern flies. I don't do that. Yeah. What do you guys think about government? You guys into government? You guys getting into government lately? I love government. My favorite character is RFK Jr. He's my favorite spawn of recent years. I think the guy's a lot of fun. I don't know how you guys feel about him. But he's like a lot of fun because it's fun to see the people that hate him all of a sudden have to like side with like Frito-Lay. Like they don't like that guy's voice, and now it's like, no, the powder and Kraft mac and cheese is organic. Fuck you. Like, I don't know, personally, I want to see this administration, in terms of food, I want to see them win. Like, that's what I want to see. I want to see, like, Abu Ghraib-style pictures of Kraft executives, you know? Like a hot yoga teacher on top of a pile of bodies just chugging coconut water. Like, make America hot again. Let's fucking go. That's our guy, 70-year-old on steroids, just banging out, like, pull-ups. That's great. David Goggins is going to be the next president. Yeah, that's fun. But yeah, I kind of went through a tough time last year. My dad died last year. Yeah, on my birthday. It's pretty fucking hardcore. No, I got a house for my birthday though, so it wasn't that bad. Yeah, he got me right before it was time to replace a hot water heater too. Like, I have so much respect for that man, you don't even understand. But he told me before he died, he was like, listen, when I die, you get the house. I don't know where my brother was in this conversation. It's not important. Seriously. I can't get into that right now. But he told me, he's like, when I die, you get the house. I don't know about you guys. That's called incentive, okay? So one night, 2 a.m., he collapses. We're freaking out. We don't know what to do. My mom is running around. She's an Eastern European woman. They're easily frightened. And she's like, what do we do? Do we call 911? What do we do? What happens now? And I'm like, here's the thing, guys. If you ever own property, all right? If someone dies inside a house, the property value goes down by 10 to 25%. This is serious. You best fucking believe we're calling 911. I'm like calling 911, refreshing Zillow with the other hand. I have a toe on my father's pulse. I'm like, you're not Jewing me out of a home in this economy, guys. That's not happening. No, it's not. He passed in the hospital. It was very sad, but very economically helpful. And the next day, like, my family were sitting around the table. We were just like, oh my God, our father's dead. Now we have to talk to his sister. Shit. But our father's dead. And all of a sudden, my mom gets a text on her phone. You just hear, and we check it, and it says, hey, thank you for using Northwell Health yesterday. If you could give us a review of 1 to 5 on your service, we'd greatly appreciate that. We're like 0. We're picking out caskets. You guys suck at your fucking jobs. How about that? Oh man, I couldn't stand that shit. But I got to see my family again a little bit. Mostly funerals. We don't see each other at weddings anymore. Nonsense. You know, a lot of families are weddings and funerals. We're only funerals, dude. We do not celebrate together. But I got to see my cousin, and the last time I saw her was at her wedding, and she married a black guy. You guys have to understand, my parents immigrated here in '91 from the Soviet Union, where they saw no black guys, and then they came here, and the first one they saw, my cousin married him. Those people killed my father. So it was a bit of a culture shock, but we think it's great. Like, we think it's awesome. We think it's phenomenal. We love it. That was word for word my uncle's wedding speech. And yeah. But really, interracial marriages are great. If you are gonna do one, I'll just give you a tip. Highly recommend not separating the families into his and hers on either side of the aisle. Highly recommend, dude. I walked in, I was like, oh, this is what segregation looked like. Cool. Great. Segregation was this thing where they separated black people and white people. So, I'm not going to argue the merits of it, but I guess you guys just do it here naturally, so whatever. I'm not going to say anything. Dude, it's 11 degrees out here. I don't know. If I was black, I'd move. I can't. I walked out of my car and I was like, this sucks. You know, it's like 20 degrees warmer 2 hours away. Just saying. Just saying. And there's lights on the roads. There's lights on the roads just 2 hours away. There's lights on the roads, guys. I don't know if you guys know this, but there is life outside of here. Like, you can escape.
We escaped that.
What?
We came here to escape
You came here to escape light? She's like, yeah, we fled after we killed all those lantern flies back in New York, in the city. We have a communist mayor now. Yeah, socialist, and that's a PG way of putting it. I don't give a shit, really. I voted for Eric Adams. I thought it would be funnier to vote for the guy who didn't want the job. I was like, you shouldn't want the job of mayor. Only a psychopath wants to be mayor. Dude, it's like, who wants to be mayor? Mamdani and Michael Rappaport? Are you kidding me? Dude, but you know, from a Jewish perspective about Mamdani, it was funny because I have some Jewish friends, and my friend sent me a poem. I swear to God, she sent me like a poem on Instagram the day after Mamdani got elected in the primaries, and the poem started off. It goes, "Oh, New York, how you have failed the Jews." So why are you sending me this Mossad-written poetry? Like Ghislaine Maxwell scratches into the side of her cell. Like, who wrote this poem? Who did this? It was actually by Erica Kirk. Shabbat Shalom, guys. By the way, I do think it's weird to post Shabbat Shalom every Friday. I don't know who you're trying to prove with that.
She's lying.
Yeah. We're going to talk later. But we will talk. But, yeah, no, I had so my grandpa also died recently because my life is full of misfortune and darkness, I guess. And it's, my grandpa died recently, and we had a rabbi at his funeral, and the rabbi kind of went rogue. And he started talking about how he had this speech, and he said it in the wrong way, and he was talking about how acronyms were created by the Torah, like the function of an acronym. But the way that he said it was maybe the worst way you could ever say something like that. He goes, FBI, CIA, KGB, all from the Talmud. Like, dude, is Candace Owens this rabbi? He took off his beard and it was Tucker Carlson. My poor mother. Eastern European, very ashamed. I went out with my mom recently, and we didn't get to do like a lot of fun stuff together because we had like a lot of family members in crisis, and they're all dead now, so we get to do nice things. And and we went out, and at the end of the night, like I just remembered why we don't do this. At the end of the night, she looked at me. She's like, I had a lot of fun tonight. You're gonna wash your face when you get home, right? I was like, yeah, I'm gonna wash my face tonight. I'm gonna do that. Eastern European women, very judgmental. I don't know. But yeah, you guys don't have Eastern European moms.
Where is Czechoslovakia?
I don't know. I'm not fucking from there. I'm from Ukraine, dude. I've had enough of Ukrainians. I gotta be honest. Are you guys Ukrainian sympathizers? Because I can't fucking take it if you are. I will move the fucking stage. I had an upstairs neighbor that was from Ukraine, and they were actually from a very similar place where my family's from. And they called the cops on me 8 times for literally having my TV above a volume of 10. They would call if like I was talking on the phone. So you subvert military service to your country in the middle of a war, come here and then weaponize my own state against me. The way I have zero respect. Like, ICE is really going after the wrong people. Like, you have to start, and you know with all these Ukrainians, hey, you were Russian 5 years ago. I remember, okay? You were all listening to Russian Paradise in your fucking, and if you guys don't know what that is, some Russian dude made a parody to Gangster's Paradise called Russian's Paradise, and it's about being just literally a glupnik smoking cigarettes in a Slav squat. It is he's like writing a letter home to his mom. It's a great song. You were all Russian 5 years ago, so take the Ukrainian flag off your fucking car and go serve. That's how I feel about it. That's, you know. You guys have jobs? You guys have jobs? You guys do that? I hate my job. I hate my coworkers so fucking much. I don't even cover my mouth when I sneeze anymore.
That's good.
Dude, everyone Julien's gonna get sick next week. No, I hate them. My manager's brain is fully corrupted by AI. Every Sunday at night, I get 10 emails about like a new AI thing that he wants me to do, and so I do kind of like work with the retarded, which is fun. No, I hate they're just so boring. Like I'll go, like we'll talk and we'll be like, "What'd you do this weekend?" They're like, "Oh, we rewatched Squid Games." I'm like, "Cool. Have you given your suicide any thought?" Have you thought about it? Because it would be a good idea and maybe more useful. And so I really like my service coworkers, right? Like a service job, that's where you get the fun coworkers who are doing cool stuff. Like I majored in English in college. I don't know if anyone else is fundamentally useless in life. I don't know if anybody here is a communications major or anything like that. But I majored in English, and so when I left school, it was like a beautiful paved road to Jersey Mike's Sandwich Shop. And that's where I worked for 3 years of my life. That's where I worked, yeah. That's who you get at Jersey Mike. You get English majors, and then you get guys who walk around with a backpack that has nothing but a giant bong in it. That's the 2 types of people that you get working at a Jersey Mike's. And one of my coworkers, actually my manager, came in one time and she had scratches all over her face. And we were like, "Hey, you good? Like, what's up? What's going on?" She's like, "Oh, I'm fine. I'm good. I just got into a little car accident on my way here." You don't have a car, so that's fine. Hey guys, this is a comedy show. Welcome, get in here. I'm talking about my get in.
Can we order food or what?
I have like 5 minutes left. Just I only have have a couple of jokes left. So I'm talking about my coworkers when I worked at Jersey Mike's and how great they were and fantastic. And so my manager had come in with scratches all over her face, and she said that she got into a car accident. She didn't have a car. Actually, and you could weigh in, her boyfriend beat the shit out of her. Because they were, because she called him the N-word, and I also don't recommend doing that in an interracial relationship. I just don't recommend it. Hi, are you guys comfortable?
Yeah.
You guys good?
There
And, yeah, and then I had another coworker, and this is a true story. We were in the back, we're making sandwiches, and she tells me about how she vaped in order to induce a miscarriage.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so if anyone in the audience is in trouble tonight, I believe the flavor she used was Miami Mint, so you can get that cleared up, It's worked. And I know, like, some people are judging that, like, it's a very disturbing thing to hear, but if it makes you feel better, she did it to save her SoundCloud career. So I don't know if you've ever had anything on the line like that, but it happens. It happens. I don't know, what do you guys think about all the plane crashes that happen? Like, 2025 is like the year of plane crashes. No. I kind of want to, though, but I want to get into, like, the Delta plane crash, like the one that flipped over on the turnpike in Toronto, because they were, like, offering people money for that. Did you guys know about this? They were offering, so there was a plane that flipped over on the tarmac, and then they were offering everyone who survived $30,000. Who thinks that that's a good deal? Seriously, no, I want to see who here doesn't understand money. Who thinks that that's a good deal? What naive summer child would take this fucking deal? Dude, Delta got bailed out $11.4 billion during the pandemic. Are you kidding me? If that happened to me, I'd be walking in with all my Jews, all my lawyers. I would be taking them out of the tunnels. I would be like, we are getting our fucking money. Like, every single thing I'm walking in there with. I'm like, the T gave me second-degree burns, the stewardess sexually assaulted me, the pilot called me an anti-Semitic slur. Like, how much money are we getting for that? Because that's the American dream. The American dream is a wet Wendy's floor without a just mopped sign. That's like, let's fucking go. It's Slip City, That's when it's times, like, I've had lower back pain for 8 years. You will find something. I guarantee it. That's what it's all about. My father's dream was to sue. That's what he wanted for him and his children. That's why he came to this country, because you can sue. And you can win big, like you could win generational wealth through lawsuits. You know who had a lawyer in this country? I swear this is true. You know who had a lawyer? Osama bin Laden had legal representation after the World Trade Center attack. That is 100% true. And his lawyer defended him in open court by saying, Your Honor, my client wasn't even in New York when it happened. So you could just shove that whole fucking lawsuit up your ass. You could do that. And then that same guy that defended Osama bin Laden dropped out of the Diddy case.
Oh my God.
Same guy.
Oh my God.
Same guy. He saw all the evidence against Diddy and said no. And then Diddy got off anyway, so who gives a shit? I don't know if you guys have been following on Instagram, but Diddy is like, he shared a cell with like 6ix9ine. You guys know about this? Yeah. And they prayed together, apparently. So Diddy's gonna be in heaven, and that table won't be. And that's fun. It's like, if you don't pray, you will not be in heaven, and Diddy will be, dude. Diddy will be throwing freak-offs in heaven, and we'll all be here because we don't pray daily. But I find it very difficult, like I said, like I am Jewish, I find it very difficult to connect with my Jewish faith in the turmoil of all this Epstein stuff, so I don't know. It's very hard to connect to your Jewish faith in the middle of all that. I don't know. Let's see if I have anything else here. I did that one. That one did well. That one did not go well. I hated that one. I dislike CVS very strongly. You could say hate. I hate CVS so much. mostly my gripe with CVS is how come you can self-checkout, like, you know, I get the self-checkout. Everyone has social anxiety. You don't want to look anyone in the eye, like, when you're buying stuff, like, fuck that. But, like, just self-checkout, you can just go into the night. How come the only things that I can't get on a self-checkout privately in my self-checkout abode are condoms and Plan B? The most embarrassing things to talk about or to purchase, you have to look a salesperson in the eye. Like, CVS is a sadistic business. And so this happened one time. I was buying a Plan B. Like, I know, cool. Let's go. I was buying a Plan B, and I was leaving, and so I'm checking out, and the guy is like, he hands me the Plan B, and I take it, and he won't let go of it, and he's just looking at me. And so we're frozen in time, and I'm holding the Plan B, and he's holding it, and we're just looking at each other, and he's just not letting go. And then he goes, "Oh, I know you. You go to my gym." I said, "Don't recognize me right now. Like, what is wrong with you?" I didn't even know what to say to that. I was just like, "Yeah, I go to the gym. That's why I fuck a lot." All right, guys, I made it to that ski. Thanks for everything.
Yeah. Ada, I'm not gonna fuck up her name again. She made me think about politics. I had this one political joke. I don't know anything about what's going on in Israel and Palestine. I just know that one group wants the other group out of there. I just feel like we could all stop talking about Israel and Palestine if we just got one of those groups out of there. Like, just take the group that's getting more oppressed and get them in, like, northern Russia and give them that land. That's my political joke. All right. Thanks for coming, everyone. Two guys who just showed up late. Come back next time, 9 o'clock. It's fun. We're doing another one on February 13th. It's going to be a Valentine's Day show. We're going to try to break up a bunch of couples. Everybody, thanks for coming. I really appreciate y'all. Julien's Comedy!